just don't want to make it, you know. Hey. Bonsai buyout. Bonsai buyout.
Whoa, what's up, Pete?
What's happening, big dog?
Cool, cool. Getting ready to do a little bit of cooking, man.
Man, I ain't gonna get to eat today because I got home from work a little late, and then I'm gonna end up getting home Thursday a little later. But you know, I had to slap something together before the show. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting here eating a half a banana and a friggin' wrapped in a slice of wheat bread with some peanut butter wrapped in that bad boy. You know what I'm saying? Some old school shit my grandma taught me. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
You know.
Man, I was listening in. I
I
just
gotta put
listened,
something in the stomach. You dig me? But yeah, you
for
know,
sure.
tonight we on a conversation about, you know, inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been through nearing now almost a full year, bro. This is almost the end, bro. We got literally less than 2 days and a few hours until this day is over. Until this month is over, I should say. You know,
That's a good
Friday
thing.
will be the new start of the last month of the year, bro. Like, I mean, the question of today's topic today is like, yo, what has been your biggest inspiration thus far this year?
Music itself, bro. Being I guess a hip hop head, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing, bro, that's always been constant, you know?
No doubt.
I've lived in many different places,
Mm-hmm.
different eras of time.
Mm.
So I'm appreciative that I can actually cope with my illness, bro, through recording, you know what I'm saying? Or writing, you know what I'm saying? Or even open, open, speaking to different people, meeting different people
Mm-hmm.
with the common interest in the love and passion for music, bro. Uh,
Yep.
I had been going through a strike, man, where I found myself at a point where since September, since my birthday, bro, I hadn't recorded any songs, man. I
Mm-hmm.
hadn't really wrote too much. But last night I was able to get 2 projects complete. And that kind of, as I entered the room, you were mentioning going back and doubling up on your vocals and getting them right.
Yeah.
You know, like not remixing songs, but doing them to their correct ability.
Revising the verses. So, you know, give them more
Yeah.
life. Yeah, I get it.
That's
Mm-hmm.
exactly the reason why I'm almost ready for New Wave. Well, I'm ready for it, but I haven't submitted yet. But New Wave Wednesday, New
Yeah.
Music Wednesday, tomorrow, right?
Absolutely. I
Oh yeah.
literally saved the songs that I didn't get to post because last week we didn't get to do a New Wave Music Wednesday. We've been having a lot of difficulty on PG Show's Instagram page, and that's primarily how we devise like the individual video clips so that everybody's video is seen coming on the reel for when we post it out for the poll. So people go to the poll to recognize which video they want to vote on. It's honestly a challenge because it becomes one of those things where it's harder when Instagram becomes a liability when it was at first the biggest asset to kind of like getting all that stuff started. But hopefully this time around this week, I've been giving it a chance to kind of breathe. So like I just been posting a lot of the you know, live streams and stuff and maybe a reel here and there just to give y'all guys a heads up on what we're doing. But like, you know, it's crazy because like with everything going the way it's going right now, as the way the flow is going from my working schedules and stuff, I've been really having to like stay focused on how I'm moving around and keeping myself in tune with all of that stuff while trying to maintain a certain level of you know, understanding like how I want to keep expanding on myself, you know what I mean, and not just in my personal life but in the music as well. So like in music for me, like after I released Sunset in the summer, you know what I'm saying, like that album's releases what came in June. I've been just, you know, pretty much hopping verses and stuff with other artists here and there, maybe I'll jump on and do a song by myself, you know, maybe one or two pretty decent tracks that I've created, and I have a couple of other tracks, you know what I mean, that I made, you know, with an artist or two that I liked and really got back to me and wanted to connect with me on collaborations, and I just haven't released anything. Honestly, I would say at this point right now, I probably have like at least another album's worth of music that I haven't even released. But there's no real solid base for the album that can be consistent with a theme for your album. You know how a lot of people create albums and, you know, they want to do a theme, you know what I'm saying, with their stuff. So like for me, I'm inspired this year by the 2 albums that I created this year to make my next album a theme that will go throughout the entire stream for the album itself. It's like, you know, I set aside these particular tracks for this album because they fit to the nature of what this album represents or what the theme of the album's title would suggest. You know what I'm saying?
Sure enough.
So yeah, right now it's all about.
Man, I'm upset I haven't heard this album yet, bro, because you one of the very few artists that I actually listen to besides myself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
As far as, you know what I'm saying, like.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like it's a beautiful thing, bro. I love being, you know, just in general, someone who enjoys creating the music and listening to like even the work after it's done, because I do that often too. I find myself playing my music more than I play anybody else's nowadays, and it's kind of excessive because I want, but it's mainly because also the fact that I just want to make sure that whatever I'm producing and releasing to the public to hear, I want them to like it just as much as I do. You know what I'm saying? Like and you know, for every person that comes back like I didn't like how he came with that one, bro. He could I think he could have came harder. I'm looking at that too. Like, ooh, I can see that. I can see what you mean. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I could have said something differently or worded it a different way. You know what I mean? Maybe even kind of spiced it up a little bit on the flavor style of how I delivered it. You know what I mean? And it would have came out a little better. But myself personally, I also keep in mind one of my one things that has been just the one thing I keep in the back of my head. As long as you have all your legal work and stuff together for your music, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just fun. You're having fun. The legal work is so that your music doesn't get taken away from the name that represents you for the music that you create, you know what I'm saying? And like,
since you mentioned the legal work, bro, what I'm trying to figure out right now is my BMI, you know what I'm saying?
okay.
How can I register
okay, so,
my, you know, everything?
So okay, this is what BMI is for. Like, I sent out a YouTube link, right? Go on, if you can, go to YouTube and search how do you register, what to do before you release music. So like, how do I go about releasing music, or any in that reference search engine on the YouTube channel there, and it should pull up a reference about what is the first steps to do before you release music, right? One of the steps you want to do is make sure that you have like BMI, like register the song, right? So like, say for instance, you release this music to distribution networks, like say you have like CD Baby or DistroKid or something like that that you really use to release your music, right? Well, with each of those streaming platforms, they will give you a way to collect it, right? They say, oh, you can collect your music here. Well, what they don't tell you is they don't collect all your streams. They don't collect everything you would receive from other streaming networks that maybe your music went to but didn't, you know, they don't see because it's not a part of their partnership with those companies that they're sharing their music to, right?
Exactly.
So here's where places like things like having BMI comes in handy, because with all the information that those distributors like DistroKid and CD Baby give you, they give you actually digital tracking numbers, right? Well, with that, in addition to the registries of the works, once you register that same song or project on BMI, you have to do each individual song that way, right? So as you're doing the, verification through the, releases, you want to make sure you're going behind each song with your BMI registration, copyrights, and go to like places like copyright.com and produce yourself, the copyright registries for each of these projects that you're releasing before they start to collect steam on whatever, you know what I mean? Because as you look at, your numbers, you start to see the increase. And if you pay attention to how these distribution networks pay you, they come every quarter. As you know, in a quarter of between then and a year, there's 3 months in between each quarter. So we have 4 quarters in a year if you count the fact that 3 months equals, 1 quarter.
Yeah.
So that's how, streaming networks and, platforms like Spotify and stuff like that, that's how they calibrate your costs or your financial, revenue credits and stuff. For each time your music has been streamed, you get a certain percentage of that money back to you, you know what I'm saying, in your account, right? But what they don't tell you, as I said, with the distribution, they don't pick up all of it. So what places like ASCAP or BMI do is basically help to pick up the other parts of it, right? And then like copyright.com also secures that your lyrics are yours as well. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, ASCAP for writers' rights and publishing rights are distributed, you know what I mean, throughout that, portion. You can also, get your stuff registered with the Chamber of Commerce, and all that stuff to make sure that you're collecting revenue streams. Like, say, for instance, if you go out, to perform. So it's like, say, for instance, if you're performing, you need your PR, what is called your PR right. So that's publisher's rights. Performance rights, I'm sorry, your performance rights. There's songwriter's rights, which is SR, and then there's performance rights, which is PR. So, yeah.
Now, you see, I'm actually grateful you explaining in such detail, you know what I mean?
My brother, I can honestly tell you right now, based off me having this conversation, this is something that not many people in music are aware of.